That's cool. It's just part two. So we're gonna go on because I don't know what happened, but the phone cut off, but it's cool. So the 7 Hermetic principles from the Kabbalion. Number 1, the principle of mentalism. All is mind, the universe is mental. This idea suggests that reality originates from universal consciousness. Everything from matter to energy to thought emerges from a fundamental mental or spiritual source. Practical meaning, your thoughts shape your experience. Change your mind, you change your world. The principle of correspondence. This is what I was talking about, as above, so below. As below, so above. Patterns repeat across. So let me give you an example of that. So there's an angelic hierarchy, there's a demonic hierarchy. Solomon has keys, greater keys for the angelic realm, lesser keys for the infernal realm. The hierarchy stands on both. You want to get like a quick little context, check out the Divine Comedy. But either way it goes. The principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. Patterns repeat across all levels of existence. Physical, mental, spiritual. Practical meaning. By understanding one level, like your inner world, you gain insight into others, like your outer circumstances. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Everything in the universe is in constant motion. Differences between matter, energy, and thought are differences in vibration and frequency. Practical meaning, emotions, state of mind, and even outcomes can be influenced by shifting your vibration. Even outcomes can be influenced by shifting your vibration. It's huge. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Opposites are actually two extremes of the same thing. Hot and cold, love and hate, light and dark. Practical meaning. You can transform a negative state by shifting along its spectrum rather than fighting it directly. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has tides. Life moves in cycles. Seasons, moods, success and failure, expansion and contraction. Practical meaning. When you understand cycles, you stop resisting them and start working with them. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by chance. Chance is just a name for laws we don't yet understand. Practical meaning. You can become a cause in your life rather than an effect of circumstances. 7. My apologies. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has masculine and feminine principles. This isn't about biological sex. It's about complementary forces, active and receptive, logical and intuitive, projective and nurturing. Practical meaning, creativity and balance come from harmonizing these inner forces. The Emerald Tablet is much shorter and more symbolic, but its core themes align with Hermetic principles. And so we got there. And so I thanked the AI, but then I asked AI, thank you, Copilot, do these principles correlate in overall 7 principles, such as are they in connection or in conjunction to, say, the 7 chakras or the 7 major planetary archons? AI responds, you're tapping into a really, don't mind that. Anyway, so we go here, do the 7 Hermetic principles correspond to other 7s? 7 chakras. There's no historical evidence that the Hermetic principles were designed to match the chakras, but many modern esoteric thinkers draw symbolic parallels because both systems describe layers of consciousness, energetic dynamics, the structure of reality, the process of spiritual evolution. And a common modern interpretation looks like this. And on the bottom, AI specifically says this isn't official, it's a metaphysical overlay, but it's surprisingly coherent. And so for the Hermetic principle to match up with the chakra parallel, it says mentalism, matching up with the crown chakra, or Sahasrara. Both deal with pure consciousness and unity. The principle of correspondence, dealing with Ajna, or the third eye chakra. Insight and pattern recognition, inner and outer mirroring. The vibration principle, dealing with Vishuddha, the throat, and sound frequency expression resonance, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. Polarity is in correlation with the heart, or Anahata. Union of opposites, compassion, balancing, duality. Rhythm, correlation to solar plexus, or Manipura. Cycles of will, action, and personal power. Cause and effect, that's Svadhisthana. For sacral, creative flow, consequences of desire. Gender, root, Muladhara, I think it's Muladhara. Foundational, dual forces, creation, stability. So I'm showing you, well, that's the chakras and the principles of seven, the Hermetic of. It goes down into the 7 planetary archons, like the Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, etc., etc. And so it goes into its concepts of there. It says, so are they all connected? It says not historically, but symbolically, yes. That's why so many traditions converge on the number 7. 7 visible classical planets, 7 chakras, 7 heavens, 7 metals of alchemy, 7 days of the week, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 virtues, 7 sins. 7 is a number that ancient cultures used to express completion, structure, and the full spectrum of manifestation. We're going back to the basics of universal law, because I was watching the Empress telegroup. Just because you have a title does not mean that you don't have to abide by spiritual law, universal law, divine law. And it is important to go back to the basics. Peace.